So let's talk about stealing in sports, and the obvious one being stealing bases in baseball.
Something that's smiled upon as opposed to most types of stealing.
Like most good things in baseball, we're going to quickly jump back to the early 20th century. I want to tell you about this guy, Herman Schaefer. He was born in Chicago, but he had a German enough name that everyone just called him Germany.
It's not
Real
that,
original.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that German.
So Germany was in MLB early 1900s.
Gotcha.
As they were still working a lot of the bugs out of the game. There was a moment, I believe it was in 1907, where he was on first base and he had a teammate on third base. They were going to attempt the double steal, where the first baseman would steal second and try to get the catcher to throw the ball to second, which would give time for the runner on third to sprint home and steal home, get a run.
Nice. The bait and steal.
Bingo. So Germany was going to be the bait. He took off, but the catcher didn't throw the ball. So the runner on third never advanced. In a normal situation, you'd be like, oh, great. Okay, cool. We have a guy on second and third.
Yeah, good consolation prize.
Right. Yeah, everybody's safe. Let's just keep cruising. What Germany instead did was he went and stole first base back.
Oh, you can do that?
Again, early, this was
Okay,
like
yeah.
1907.
We're beta version.
Right.
Baseball.
He stole first, he winds up back on first, and they're just like, all right, let's try it again. He next pitch takes off, steals second, and this is where there's some reports of, I think an outfielder years later was like, and that time it worked, and the catcher threw the ball and the runner on third was able to score. And it's hard to kind of verify, but that got kind of famously written into a book of the time a guy stole first base in order to steal second for a second time.
I'm surprised it's called stealing first base. It feels like it should. So he gave up second. He gave away second. Yeah.
Gave up second. I like that.
Yeah.
Then about 4 years later, he tried this again. And this time around, the opposing manager came out and was like, you can't do that. Like, come on. Like, stay on second, man.
Yeah, play the game that we agreed to play.
When the manager came out and there was confusion and stuff, that's when the runner on third took off for home.
Nice.
But he got thrown out there, so, you know.
Not enough confusion. I'm surprised it took him 4 years to do it again. It seems like it worked. Everyone thought he was like fun and cool. He got in a book for it.
I wonder if it's like any good trick play, you really have to just wait a beat before you try to pull it off again.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I do something that gets written into a book, I'm going to do it like every day. I'm not going to wait 4 years to do it again.
And so after that second attempt of doing the same stupid maneuver, baseball waited 8 or 9 years before actually putting in a rule to dissuade people from doing this.
You know, some people call it a slow-moving sport, but again, I would say 9 years to address the issue is longer than I would have assumed.
And so that rule is Rule 5, Section 9B-10. Any runner is out when, after he has acquired legal possession of a base, he runs the bases in reverse order for the purpose of confusing the defense or making a travesty of the game.
Like, if he embarrasses us, he's out.
Right.
It feels very defensive. It's like, you just say don't run the bases backwards for any reason, instead of like, for if you're making fun of me.
I am glad you jumped to that because based on how this is written, in 2013, a player more or less pulled off the modern version of stealing first base.
Oh, wow. Still possible. Anything's possible.
I will say it does take a kind of collected effort of idiocy,
Sure.
more or less. So what happened was in 2013, Brewers and the Cubs were playing, bottom of the 8th, 1-run game. Jean Segura, he singled, and then he stole second.
Great.
So far, super normal. With first base open, the Cubs decided to walk Ryan Braun. So, guys on first and second. The Brewers then attempted a double steal, with Segura going to third and Braun going to second simultaneously. But the Cubs are ready for this, and instead of pitching, the pitcher throws the ball straight to third. So Segura backtracks, makes it to second, once Braun is already at second.
Uh-oh. We got a classic traffic jam.
Here's where the length of a rule book and how much an umpire can keep track of at once and a bang-bang play all kind of comes together. They say, well, Braun, you're for sure out. Because there's the rule where if there's two runners on the same base, the following runner is the one that's out. They totally missed the fact that Segura was also tagged out, so despite that rule.
A lot going on.
But Segura is like, oh, I'm out. I'll head back to the dugout. But the Brewers' dugout happened to be in the same direction as first base. And so he gets about halfway before the first base coach is like, no, come on. Don't like, and he kind of picks up his pace and trots into first and is just like chilling there.
That's wonderful.
At one point, he like starts coming off the bag, and the first base coach is like, no, stay, like wait this out. And so within a few pitches, Segura tried to steal second again and was thrown out, and that was the end of the inning.
I'm kind of pissed at him for stealing second at that point. It's like, just try to hold on to this so you can be a legend. Like, just don't risk it. You've gotten a gift here.
At the same time, if he could have stolen 3 bases in the same inning...
Good point. That earned you a badge. That's good. When you first started telling the second story, I thought it was going to be like someone was aware of the rule and knew how to exploit it. Rather than just like, no one knew any of the rules.
Well, and I like that thought because the way to exploit it is to just make sure you're not making a travesty of the game.
Yeah. No, you're doing it because you love first base.
You love first base, or you're a total idiot. The best part to me that really shows baseball has always been the same is it took them about a week to come out and be like, oh, here's how this should have been ruled. While no travesty was being made, there's other rules that should have made Segura out, including like, you know, because he had kind of given himself up and it looked like for a moment he was returning to the dugout, then the runner is considered out. And here's the rule that actually makes it very, very difficult to steal first base. Rule 506-A says if a runner legally acquires title to a base, which great word choice, and the pitcher assumes his pitching position, the runner may not return to a previously occupied base.
Kind of a buzzkill.
Kind of a buzzkill, but once again, in my mind, leaves a little bit of wiggle room for the ability to steal first.
Yeah, I suppose it could be subjective. Is he in pitching position or not?
They have a chance with a lot of these rules to just outright say, never steal first.
Yeah.
And each time they add just a few too many words that I believe in 2021, a baseball player, if they steal second and then before the pitcher is ready to pitch again, take off to steal first and never make a travesty of the game.
Of course.
I think they could legally steal first in that situation.
I think the only caveat would be like, we would then have to talk to them and be like, why did you do it? Were you trying to confuse anyone? Because it's hard to come up with an answer that doesn't involve, I was trying to confuse someone. Unless, again, it comes back to like, I'm not very smart. And that's what happened.
Do you think the umpires would allow it if you get to second and realize you left your wallet at first?
I mean, they would have to. That's a security issue.
So a special thanks to you for watching this episode of Weird Rules, and a special thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook for partnering with us on this video. If you're cut from the gambling cloth, check out DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new players a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 with their first deposit. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, check out the parlays and player props, and tell them Will sent you. They'll know me. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings daily fantasy sports contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code SECRETBASE, all one word, bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game and win $200 in free bets. Again, that's promo code SECRETBASE. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only, new customers only, minimum $5 deposit and $5 wager required. One per customer, restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.